Yeah, yeah. I came from nothing. Nothing came for free. The rent was 6 weeks late, the heat cut at degree. Mama's coat was thinner than the promises we kept. December cracking through the window while she slept. I counted ceiling tiles at 3 a.m. to pass the time. 16 with no plan except refusing the flat line. Marcus ran the block, Deja worked the register. Everybody searching for a door mark better than this. I had a composition notebook in the corner of the room. A pen that barely worked and bars I built inside the gloom. They said dream small like the ceiling wasn't already low. Said be realistic. I said watch which way I go.
I came from nothing. Nothing came for free. Every scar I carry is a key.
Yeah, the bodega hummed this dirty fluorescent prayer. $2 in a dream, that's all we had to share. Ran the same 4 blocks so many times the concrete knows my name. I swear the street remembers what the city tries to reclaim. Pops was gone by 93, no forward in the dress. Just a rumor in a photograph inside a shoebox chest. So I built the father out of every rapper on the tape. Every word a blueprint for the man I meant to make. They never said it cost this much to simply start. Had to sell the silence just to fund the beating up this hard. But I wrote it down, every detail of the ache, because the blank page was the only space they couldn't take.
I came from nothing. Nothing came for free. Every scar I carry is a key. I came from nothing. Watch what nothing made of me. Nothing made of me.
Everyone's still on the Ave. This one's for you. Dear block, I never figured out how to say goodbye, so I kept walking forward with my face still turned behind. You raised me crooked, raised me cold, raised me in the fire. You gave me everything you had, including all your scars. Remember Keisha on the stoop every single afternoon. Her mama's radio leaking soul into the summer fumes. Remember Carlito with the limp who sold us knockoff dreams, telling us the world was soft, we just had to pull the seams. I wrote your name in every verse I ever laid to tape. The corner store, the broken light, the chain link and the freight. You taught me language that the teachers couldn't grade, the kind that keeps a man alive when everything has frayed.
I write to you from somewhere you can't see. I'm still the kid who wrote his name on every tree.
Yeah,
I carry you inside the places that I've been.
yeah, letter from the block.
I'll always be from where I've been.
Yeah, I left because the leaving was the only thing that stayed. Every exit held me tighter than the promises were made. But I took the alley's angles, took the patience of the weight, took the way we laughed at funerals cause grief was running late. There's a boy who looks like me, still standing at that wall, who doesn't know his name is gonna echo past the fall. I wanna tell him, yeah, it costs more than you know, but the price of staying buried is the thing that makes you whole. So I fold this letter up and press it in the verse, not because the story's over, it just needs a different nurse to carry it to places that the block can never reach. Letter from the block, somewhere in my chest you still teach.
I write to you from somewhere you can't see.
Yeah,
I'm still the kid who wrote his name on every tree.
yeah,
I carry you inside the places that I've been.
letter from the block.
I'll always be from where I've been.
Always be from where I've been. Always be from where I've been. This is for the ones still there. Stay alive. Your story isn't done. Yeah. 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 Dream got a chord. Yeah. Nobody told me that the dream had a collection date. I signed the bottom line in sweat before I read the rate. Traded weekends for the sessions, traded sleep for the tape. Traded who I was at 20 for the man I'd have to make. They glamorize the hustle, skip the part where you pay. The part where your girl's tired and your mama starts to pray. The part where your boys wonder why you never come around. The part where chasing up means letting something hit the ground. I burned the bridges thinking I was lighting paths ahead. I was just a man on fire who forgot to check the thread, cost the dreams. Nobody posts that on the wall, nobody frames the invoice when they're hanging in the hall.
Every dream got a price tag hidden in the scene.
Yeah.
Every crown got a weight that you can't see.
I paid in time, I paid in blood, I paid in silence.
Hey.
Yeah.
Every dream's got a cause.
Did you read the fine? Yeah. Devante borrowed money, never paid it, said it's love. That's the language of the hungry when the pressure's up above. I spent 3 years on 16 bars that never saw the light. And every night I told myself, this suffering is right. The craft don't care about your feelings or your debt. The blank page stares back harder than the coldest winter yet. But I came up in a school where giving up was never taught. Every L was just a lesson wrapped in everything I fought. I didn't lose the girl, I lost the version she believed in. I didn't lose the time I spent it and found out what the meaning of devotion looks like when the audience is darkness. The cost of dreams, the receipt is in the marrow, in the hardness.
Every dream got a price tag hidden in the scene. Every crown got a weight that you can see.
I paid in time, I paid in blood, I paid in silence.
Hey. Every dream got a cause.
Did you read the fine print? Cost a dream. I paid for every inch of this. Yeah. So don't romanticize the grind without the other half. The hospital at 4 a.m. the call you didn't answer fast. The COD cash on delivery is always someone close. The dream collects in faces, not in dollar bills and posts. Yeah. Yeah. Step up to the corner where the sermon never ends, where the preacher got a pistol and the gospel's in the Benz, where the altar's made of asphalt and the choir's doing time, and the offering is silence, so the offering is a spine. Listen, the block don't lie, the block just waits. The block has seen the funerals and to congratulate, seen the mothers in the doorways after midnight afternoon, seen the fathers in the absent space inside the Sunday pews. I spit this from the place where optimism dies by noon, where the only thing that rises is the price in the full moon, where little brothers choosing corners over corridors because the corridor will cost them what the corner can ignore.
Here on the corner
where the city never blinks, here where a man can fall before he even starts to think.
This is the sermon
that the steeple never preaches. Here on the corner, truth is the only thing that reaches. Ronnie had his run, had his shine, had his throne for a week. Then the week turned into lesson written in the concrete. Now his name's up on the mural that I pass every day, and the mural is the sermon, and the sermon's here to stay. I ain't glorifying, I'm bearing witness to the weight of every story that the mainstream can't translate. They want the triumph without testimony from the scar. They want the star without the 7 years of bleeding in the dark. So I preach it from the block that never asked to be ignored. I preach it from the code that never got a microphone to cord. The system took the exit signs and dimmed the corridor, so the corner was the only door, and now they want a tour.
Here on the corner
where the city never blinks. Here where a man can fall before he even starts to think.
This is the sermon
that the steeple never preaches.
Here on the corner,
truth is the only thing that reaches. And still we rise before the light. And still we find the frequency inside the night. The corner doesn't kill the soul, neglect does. The wall doesn't trap the man, the lack does. I seen men build cathedrals from the rubble of a block. I seen women hold the whole damn city through the lock. So don't preach about the corner like it's only where men fall. The corner is where everything began. That's the sermon, that's the call. The only thing that reaches.
We didn't have much, we made the most of what was real. A blanket on a futon and your laughter was the meal. Kept the lights low, cause the bill was always tight. Love on the low, that's how we made it through the night. You never asked me for the things I couldn't give. You only asked me for the honesty to live. The nights I came home, empty pockets in my pride. You made the silence into something warm we shared inside. Remember Tuesdays when the fridge was echoing loud. You made something out of rice and called it being proud. You wrote my name on every letter that I never read twice. Told me I was worth the wait. Told me once the once was nice. I bought you flowers once from the corner with the change. You held them like I handed you the world's entire range. Because you knew, you always knew, it wasn't about the price. It was about the man who walked 3 blocks in the ice. We didn't have much, we made the most of what was real. A blanket on a futon and your laughter was the meal. Kept the lights low, cause the bill was always tight. Love on the low, that's how we made it through the night. I used to think that love required a stage to prove its worth, that people needed audiences to know what love is worth. But we were living proof that love don't need a spotlight or an arc. Love on the low burns longer, steadier in the dark. When the money finally came, I watched you stay the same. Same hand, same laugh, same name. You called me through the flame and I understood the love was never contingent on the throne. Love on the low was the only kind that felt like home. I know I wasn't always easy. Know the grind took its debt. Know there were mornings that you carried both of us, and yet you never made me feel the way. You only held my hand. Love on the low, the deepest thing I'll ever understand. We didn't have much, we made the most of what was real. A blanket on a futon and your laughter was the meal. Kept the lights low, and in the low we became real. Love on the low, that's the only love I feel. The only love I feel.
Dead presidents. Dead presidents. Yeah, dead presidents in the pocket, resurrection in the walk. Used to count nickels, now I'm counting what I lost. They say money talks, but don't tell you what it says. How it whispers paranoia and it shouts for friendship phrase. I remember broke, like it was yesterday's cologne. Now the fragrance is expensive and I'm sleeping in it alone. Moved the family out the Ave, mama cried when she left. Said this is what we prayed for, I said I know, catch your breath. The hustle was a temple, now the temple's turned to vault. I'm counting wins and losses, trying to find who is at fault. Every dollar has a ghost attached, I see them in the bills. Dead presidents, staring back, reminding me of hills.
Dead presidents, dead presidents.
I chased them through the cold and through the rain.
Dead presidents, dead presidents.
I got what I was chasing, now explain why the hands that hold the gold still feel the change. Dante said he had my back when the account was at zero. Now the account is something different, and so is Dante's ego. Money magnifies, it doesn't change, it just reveals. Puts a microscope on character and strips away the seals. I spent $3 grand on a dinner in a room I didn't need. I spent 3 years on a hunger that was hungrier than greed. The math don't add to the same sum on either side of full. Empty, rich, and hungry, broke, or pulling the same pull. See the dead presidents, they've been dead for a reason. They built their empires on the backs of every season of oppression, domination. I'm just playing the hand I was dealt, but now I palm the deck and I understand.
Dead presidents, dead presidents.
I chased them through the cold and through the rain.
Dead presidents, dead presidents.
I got what I was chasing, now explain why the hands that hold the gold still feel the change. Still feel the change. Yeah. So I keep moving because stopping means the weight settles in. And the weight of what I build is heavier than where I've been. Dead presidents in the portfolio to watch the estate, but the deadest thing about them is the hunger they can't say. I tell my children, chase the craft before you chase the coin, because the craft can't be repossessed, and craft don't disappoint. But dead presidents, they'll follow you from borough to the suite, from the corner where the cold was to the lobby with the heat.
There was one summer I keep going back to, like a scratch on a record that makes the song your home. We were 22 and broke and didn't know it. The fire hydrant open on the block, nobody owned it. We sit till midnight on the stoop with bootleg mixtapes. The whole neighborhood awake below the summer stakes. Marcus had a grill and a story for every cold. Raina brought potato salad, never asked for a bowl. That summer felt like something that would always come again. I didn't write it down because I thought I remember when. Turns out you don't always get to circle back. Turns out some summers are the last one before everything retracts. One last summer on the stoop before we scattered. One last summer when the small things really mattered. One last summer, didn't know until it shattered. One last summer and everything that followed after. I found a photo from that August, shot on someone's Kodak. Marcus laughing, Raina with her hair up, me in the back, looking at the block like it was something I was keeping, like a contract with the concrete I was signing without reading. I signed up for the rent here, for the weather, for the ground, for the sirens in the early AM, measuring my time. I didn't know I signed up for the missing two. The hours everyone texts that come less than they used to. The names I still carry are the names I couldn't protect from the thing that comes for all of us eventually. Distance. One last summer. And I didn't know the count. One last summer. And the cost was everything, the amount, when the joy had no doubt. One last summer before we all spread out. I hope they know, Marcus and Raina and the rest, that I think about that summer constantly. Not with greed, with something warmer, like gratitude that won't sit still. I went back once, just to walk the block. I went back once, just to walk the block. I went back once, just to walk the block. It was different now, new signs, new names, but the hydrant was still there, still running. One last summer, yeah, it was enough. One last summer, even broken things were left. One last summer, before the world got rough. One last summer, and love was just enough. Some things know how to stay. The hydrant was still there, still running. Some things know how to stay. There was one summer I keep going back to, a scratch on a record. It makes the song your home. We were 22 and broke and didn't know it. The fire hydrant open on the block, nobody owned it. We'd sit till midnight on the stoop with bootleg mixtapes. The whole neighborhood awake below the summer stakes. Marcus had a grill and a story for every cold. Rena brought potato salad, never asked for a bowl. The summer felt like something that would always come again. I didn't write it down because I thought I'd remember when. Turns out you don't always get to circle back. Turns out some summers are the last one before everything retracts. One last summer on the stoop before we scattered. One last summer when the small things really mattered. One last summer, didn't know until it shattered. One last summer and everything that followed after. I found a photo from that August shot on someone's Kodak. Marcus laughing, Reno with her hair up, me in the back, looking at the block like it was something I was keeping, like a contract with the concrete I was signing without reading. I'd signed up for the rent, here for the weather, for the grime, for the sirens in the early AM, measuring my time. I didn't know I signed up for the missing too. The how is everyone texts that come less than they used to. The names I still carry are the names I couldn't protect from the thing that comes for all of us eventually. Distance. One last summer and I didn't know the count. One last summer and the cost was everything, the amount. One last summer when the joy had no doubt. One last summer before we all spread out. I hope they know August and Raina and the rest that I think about that summer constantly. Not with grief, with something warmer like gratitude that won't sit still. One leg once just to walk the block, it was different now. New signs, new names, but the hydrant was still there, still running. One last summer, yeah, it was enough. One last summer, even broken things were lush. One last summer, before the world got rough. One last summer, and love was just enough. Some things know how to stay. The hydrant was still there, still running. Some things know how to stay. Some things know how to stay. Some of them didn't make it past the block.
The block never let them go. I'm writing. Never let me go. I'm writing this one.
Yeah.
I'm writing this one.
I'm writing this one for the names on the bodega wall, for the numbers in the contacts I can't bring myself to call. Marcus, you know I kept every word you ever said. The ones I wrote in margins, the ones I keep inside my head. You told me the concrete remembers everything we couldn't say. I've been saying it for you in every verse since the day you couldn't anymore, since the block wrote your name in the permanent kind of ink that outlasts the frame. The frame they put around a life is never big enough for what it actually was. So we speak the names instead, we speak them loud.
Things never die.
They become the ground we walk on.
Kings never die.
They become the songs we talk on.
Kings never die.
concrete all along.
Kings never die.
They live inside the song. I think about what we all wanted when it started. Not the money, not the name, just to be regarded as someone who existed and existed loud. Someone who the block would carry even wrapped in cloud. We made it, some of us, to something we can hold. And some of us became the story that gets told at cookouts, at the barbershop, in elevator doors. The names that live in the texture of these floors. And I wanna say it right this time, not for myself, for every name that didn't get to finish what they started here.
Kings never die.
They become the words that last.
Kings never die.
They live inside the past.
Kings never die.
The future moves too fast.
Kings never die.
They built this from the ground.
It's the bark, it's the bark, it's the bark, it's the bark, bark, it's the concrete, concrete, concrete. Remembers everything.
We were born here.
We built these names, this block, this concrete. This is the only crown that was ever real. Kings never die. Kings never die, Kings never die,
They're living what they gave.
Kings never die.
In every block, in every state,
Kings never die.
the names survive the grave. Kings never die.
Kings never die.
The concrete keeps them safe.
Kings never die.
Both coasts, same night, same hunger that we never named. We were kings of the concrete, we always were. Both coasts, everything. Everything. I'm ready. Everything. Living blood, cream and blood. They told me only one of those was worth chasing. Yeah. Cream and blood. 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 Cash rules everything, but who rules the cash? The man with the stack or the man with the math? I watch the money move like water through a fist. The harder you squeeze, the more of it you miss. Spent 3 years building what 6 months dissolved. Every dollar tied to something that hadn't been resolved. In the blood, real talk, the blood is that you're counting. The sacrifice per dollar ratio always mounting. So what does it all amount to? What's the final ledger say when they count the cost of everything you traded to get paid?
Cream and blood.
That's the only confirmation that bought anything worth a real foundation.
Cream and blood.
Yeah, they're moving out the nation.
Cream and blood.
Ooh, is that not nation building? Sonny worked 3 jobs for 7 years to clear the debt. His daughter graduated, he couldn't make the event. The ceremony was on a Saturday. He worked a double, the diplomas on the wall. He still carries the trouble. I'm not comparing, just illustrating the ratio of what we call success to what we actually know. The math don't balance when you're honest with the terms. A dollar earned and pain is still a dollar earned, but it burns. And the burn is the part nobody broadcasts. The fire inside the ledger, the smoke inside the trophy.
Cream and blood.
That's the only combination that bought anything worth a real foundation.
Cream and blood.
And
the original equation. I want the cream, I'll be honest, I want all of it. But I'm no longer willing to pretend the blood isn't part of the transaction. The ledger is always double-sided. Oh, Sonny knows, the diploma knows, the Saturday he misknows, the concrete knows. Every dollar is a date on a calendar that somebody gave up to watch the number grow. I choose it with intention. The cream, the blood, the whole ledger. Eyes open, full attention. Cream and blood. Cream and blood. Cream and blood. Sonny called last Sunday. First time in months, his daughter got a job in finance. He laughed, said the math finally worked. I didn't say anything, just listened to him laugh. The ledger balanced in a way the numbers never could. Cream and blood. I know the combination, I know the cost, the margin, the foundation. Cream and blood. I choose it with attention. Cream and blood. Eyes open, full attention. Just listen to him laugh. Just listen to him laugh. This what's on the block, not the one on the map. One in the chest. This one's for the block, not the one on the map, the one in the chest. We don't get monuments, we get murals on delis. We don't get statues, we get names on back alleys. We don't get minutes on the clock tower, we get memories passed down at cookouts and barbershop ceremonies. The block raised us without a curriculum or credit. The block taught us what the teachers couldn't edit. How to read a room before the room reads you. How to stand your ground before you know what ground you're due. So when I say the block was everything, I mean everything that mattered before everything else had a price tag. Block anthems for the ones who built the sound. Block anthems for the ones who held it down. Block anthems when the whole city came around. Block anthems, the only king we ever found. Yo, we built culture on a budget that didn't exist. Sampling the sample of the sample on the wrist of someone who was sampling what they almost got. Circling the same two bars until they hit the spot. And that's not depth, that's archaeology. Digging up the very frequency of everything we've been. Jazz in the soul and the funk into this moment, this beat, this block, this fist. We didn't come from nothing. We came from everything that the record didn't capture and the history book erased. Block anthems, we built the sound. Block anthems, we held it down. Block anthems, when the whole world came around. The kings we always found. Every block got an anthem, some just never got pressed. Every corner got a composer, some just never got blessed with a label or a check or a stage or a set. But the frequency is real, whether the world heard it yet. We kept playing it anyway, through the windows, through the walls, through the summer sounds and winter halls. Through every year, the spotlight missed this street. The block made its own music, and the music won't retreat. Say the name of your block out loud. The way the people who love you say your name. That's an anthem, 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 That is the anthem. always were. Block anthem, forever and a day. Block anthem, for the ones who had to stay. Block anthem, for the ones who got away. Block anthem, we the kings of what they made. Angel, 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 the concrete, concrete, concrete. We always were. We always were. Block anthem, 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 anthem. Block anthem, 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 anthem. We always were. We always were. I ain't sleeping. I'm just resting my eyes in the city that never learned how. Yeah. Mental state of the five boroughs never been quiet. The siren speak in my sleep, now I stop trying to fight it. Second nature to look both ways, twice on the one way. Third eye open on the D train going uptown Sunday. Everybody's hustling a version of something real. The question's never what you got, it's how you make them feel. That you're not a mark, not a target, not a name they can erase. Survival's a full-time job, the city is your workplace base. Never quiet, the mind running drills on the body that's already tired. But the block don't give out. Sick days, state of mind, never quiet, never sleep. Every dollar earned the hard way, every promise that it keep. NYC don't know what's off the way to breathe. State of mind, NY state, never leave. I'm at the blocks like I was reading a contract clause. Memorize the exits before I learn the laws. This ain't paranoia, it's cartography of the chest. Knowing which corner is safe enough to finally rest. Tyrell told me slow down, I told him slow down where? The rent don't take a pause for therapeutic care. I'm building something with my hands in the dark, measuring distance by the number of days from the start. The trick of surviving so long, it starts to feel like something you chose. Like the city chose you back. State of mind, never quiet, never for breaks. Every corner memorized, every exit that it take. NYC don't do the gentle, just the state. State of mind, NY state, never fakes. I love this city. I love this city. I love the way you love something that keeps testing whether you mean it. I keep meaning it. Damn it, I keep meaning it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, I keep meaning it. It's still here, still calculating. City still running its tab, I'm still paying it. And I wouldn't trade it. Not once, not once, not state of mind, never quiet, yeah. I'm good with that. Every scar, it's just a map of getting back. NYC in the bloodline, and that's a fact. State of mind, NY state, and I'm not leaving that. Not leaving that. Still here, still calculating. City still running its tab, I'm still paying. And I wouldn't trade it, not once. Not once. Not once. Not once. Not once. I ain't sleeping. I'm just resting my eyes in the city that never learned how. Mental state of the five boroughs never been quiet. The siren speak in my sleep now. I stop trying to fight it. Second nature to look both ways, twice on the one way. Third eye open on the D train going uptown Sunday. Everybody's hustling a version of something real. The question's never what you got, it's how you make them feel. That you're not a mark, not a target, not a name making a race. Survival's a full-time job. The city is your workplace base, never quiet. The mind running drills on a body that's already tired. But the block don't give out. 6 days. State of mind, never quiet, never sleeps. Every dollar earned the hard way, every promise that it keeps. NYC, don't know what's off the way to breathe. State of mind, NY State, never leave. I'm after blocks like I was reading the contract clause. Memorize the exits before I learn the laws. This ain't paranoia, it's cartography at the chest. Knowing which corner is safe enough to finally rest. Tyrell told me slow down, I told him slow down where? The rent don't take a pause for therapeutic care. I'm building something with my hands in the dark, measuring distance by the number of days from the start. The trick of surviving so long, it starts to feel like something you chose. Like the city chose you back. State of mind, never quiet, never breaks. Every corner memorized, every exit that it takes. NYC, don't do the general, just the stakes. State of mind, NY State, never face. I love this city, the way you love something that keeps testing whether you mean it. I keep meaning it. Damn it, damn it, damn, damn it, damn, damn it, damn, damn it, damn it, damn it. I keep meaning it. Still here, still calculating. City still running its tab. I'm still paying, and I wouldn't trade it. Not once, not once, once, not once, not once, not once. State of mind, never quiet. Yeah, I'm good with that. Every scar is just a map of getting back. NYC in the bloodline, and that's a fact. State of mind, and NY State, and I'm not leaving that. Still here, still calculating. City still running its tab. I'm still banging, and I wouldn't trade it. Not once, not once, not once, not once, not once, not once. Made it to the top. Found out the top was just another corner with better lighting. Crown on my head and it's heavy as a mortgage. Built it with my hands from Brooklyn to the fortress. Every brick of sacrifice, every layer of loss. Every person I pass on the way up, they remember the cost. They remember the version of me that called them first. Now I'm calling room service, and that's the part that hurts. I got everything I hustled for, and something got replaced. Standing in the mirror and I don't quite know the face. Because the crown don't tell you this. The higher you get, the colder the concrete underneath. The crown made a crack. It holds, but it bends. The crown made of concrete. It cost you your friends. Climb to the top just to find where it ends. The crown made a crack, and the breaking begins. Breaking begins. The system put the ceiling right above your reach. It sold you the ladder, charge you double for the speech. About pulling yourself up, yeah, I pulled and I paid. Then they moved the ceiling 6 inches up the same day. So I kept climbing with the bill still on my back. Kept smiling for the room while the foundation cracked. Marcus told me once, power never shares a table. I thought he was wrong, I'm at the table. I was wrong, he was able to see it from the start. The table was the trap, the crown was the condition. Not the prize. Crown made a crash. It holds, but it bends. Crown made of concrete. It cost you your friends. Time to make a name, but names got their own ends. Crown made a crack, and the silence descends. I put the crown down once, just for a second. Counted the people left standing, then I reckoned the number went from 30 to about 7. The rest were attached to the title, not the lesson. So I rebuilt slower with the right foundation. Stop building for the city, built for my own nation. The block I came from is the only court that matters. Everything above that is just mirrors and platters. I put it down. The crown. Just for a second. Just to feel my neck again. Just to remember when my neck was just a neck and not a statement. Hey. And not cracks up. How you heal? Still mine.
You start doing the math late. When the numbers stop adding up clean. Devin used to call. Devin used to call. Devin used to call everybody. Yeah, Devin used to call every morning, second ring. Now the phone just goes to voicemail, then the silence stings. I'm not saying nothing happened, I'm just saying notice how a man changes when he got more options. Loyalty is easy when everyone's starving together. Watch what it looks like when one of them gets better. I keep my circle small now, not by choice, by count. Too many people show me what a smile was about,
And I still love every one of them.
that's what makes it hard to see it clear. That's what makes the paranoia feel like greed.
Who holds the keys
When the door swings wide,
who calls your name?
when there's nowhere left to hide, the circle getting smaller, and that might be alright. Who holds the keys? Who holds them at night? Rena said she had my back through the whole thing. 6 months later, she was talking to the wrong ring. I don't hold it personal, the streets negotiate. Everybody weighs their options on a different scale. But I've been quiet for a month now, watching how they reach, how they word the text, the rhythm of the speech. A man who's loyal doesn't have to say it twice. A man who changed will show you, just give him the ice and act absurd now. Not with suspicion, more with the kind of sorrow that only comes from being right too often.
Who holds the keys
When the door swings wide,
who says your name?
it means it every time. The circle getting smaller, and I'm staying inside. Who holds the key? I keep mine close at night.
I wrote letters to 3 people this week. Didn't send a single one.
Wasn't sure anymore which version of them would open it. Open it. I keep the circle, I can count on both hands. The rest were lessons, not losses. Every name I stopped calling made the remaining ones louder.
Who holds the keys?
When the door swings wide, I know the answer now.
I carry mine.
The circle getting smaller, that's just the design.
Who holds the keys?
The ones that matter, I keep mine. Still love them, all of them. That's just the cause. All of them, no, of knowing people long enough.
Cash rules everything. You already know the prayer. But nobody tells you the collection plate comes for you too. Yeah, I've been running since Tuesday. Still same pair of boots, same bodega receipt, same corner, same roots. Money on my mind like a billboard on the BQE. Every face I pass is just a version of the fee I owe to the city for every dream I dared to keep. Dead presidents piling up in folders while I don't sleep. Mama asking why I look like I've been fighting weather. I told her I'm just working. She said working don't look like never.
And she was right.
But the hunger don't negotiate.
It just adds another zero to the game. Dead presidents on my mind every single night. Counting every penny just to see the light.
Chase the paper,
Chase the dream, chase the ride.
dead presidents. Yeah, they never arrive in white. Jerome got his first stack, disappeared for a weekend, came back with new sneakers and a different kind of speaking. I watched the money change the grammar of his hands, how he passed the salt at dinner, how he shifted his plans. I kept writing verses on the back of Con Ed bills, trying to rhyme the lights out, noticing the something that heals, because the hustle got a flavor that turns bitter at the top. Nobody warns you, they just point you at the clock. The clock ticks different when you're finally making moves. Feels less like progress, more like proving something that nobody asked for.
Dead presidents on my mind every single night.
The paper feel like armor.
But it don't stop the night.
Chase the paper,
Chase the name, chase the light.
dead presidents. And the chase never feels right. They said money was freedom. Nobody mentioned the wall. It feels inside your chest. The kind you can't see until you're already trapped. And the keys inside the bill. You spent last. Still running, still counting. The number keeps changing, but the block stays the same.
Dead presidents never paid what the block was worth.
Dead presidents,
Dead presidents on my mind.
yeah, always have been.
Down every dollar.
To remember where I've been. Chase the paper, but don't lose the origin.
Dead presidents.
They were never really the win. Dead presidents, they were never really the win. Still running, still counting. The number keeps changing. But the block stays the same. Same block. Same block. Same night. Two paths forking at the corner of our lives. Grew up on the same ave, same fire, escape, same sky. Marcus went left with the work, I went right with the rhyme. Both of us trying to make the rent by December. Both of us swearing that corner will finally remember. I watched them count green in the dark of the hallway. I watched the mirror while I wrote my name in the stairway. Same hunger, different grammar, different gamble on the table. The ab never asked us which one of us was able, so we ran at it hard. No map, no safety net. Just the block underneath our feet. And a name, not yet. Born on the app, where the concrete calls your name. Born on the app, where the hunger stays the same. We came up hard, we came up in the flame. Born on the app, and we'll never be the same. Marcus said the street is the college, tuition is your nerve. I said the mic is the weapon, the verse is what you earn. We debated every Tuesday over dollar slicing thought about the kind of legacy that couldn't be bought, the kind that lingers past the body, past the block, past the name on the wall. When the spray's already dry, he told me write it all down. The concrete remembers everything we couldn't say. I wrote that line 10 times, couldn't throw it away, and I never did. same. We came up hard, and some of us got paid. Born on the app, and not all of us remain. Marcus made his name. The name made something else a Marcus. I kept writing, wondering if words were just a slower kind of running. Remembers what we couldn't say out loud. What remembers even when we're gone. Born on the app, where the concrete calls your name. Born on the app, where the hunger stays the same. Some of us made it, some of us became the rain. Born on the app, and the app still knows our name. Same block, same night, same hunger that we never had a word for yet.
This is where it started. Concrete, cold wind, and a dream with no address. No, snap. 3 a.m.
3 a.m. on Nostrand Ave. Nobody out but the lights. The bodega sign buzzing like it forgot to sleep. Upright bass under the overpass, walking slow and deep. Someone's window blowing amber, 3rd floor, 2nd Street. The city don't whisper, it hums at a frequency that only makes sense if you slept on its chest. The cracks in the sidewalk got more history than anything they taught us in the textbook test. And the night just holds it all. The block don't forget a name, even when the name forgets the block, even when the name forgets. This corner still knows your face. Every fire escape got a story. Every clothesline got a timeline. Every crack in these steps is a season. There's someone else called fine. This lullaby ain't gentle, it's just honest. The concrete sings the truth the rest can't find. Slow down, let the block catch up. It's been carrying us longer than we knew. The block don't forget a name, even when the name forgets the block, even when the name forgets. We were always coming back. Before the hustle, before the price, before the name and anything outside this street. It was just this. There was just this. There was just this. There was just this. We were born here, kings of the concrete. Before we even knew what a crown was. The block don't forget a name, even when the name forgot itself. Even when we ran, it held our place. The block don't forget a name. Still here.
dream with no address. 3 a.m. 3 a.m. 3 a.m. 3 a.m. on Nostrand Ave. Nobody out but the lights. The bodega sign buzzing like it forgot to sleep. Upright bass under the overpass, walking slow and deep. Someone's window glowing amber, 3rd floor, 2nd Street. The city don't whisper, it hums at a frequency that only makes sense if you slept on its chest. The cracks in the sidewalk got more history than anything they taught us in the textbook test. And the night just holds it all. The block don't forget a name, even when the name forgets the block. Even when the name forgets, this corner still knows your face. Every fire escape got a story, every clothesline got a timeline. Every crack in these steps is a season that someone else called fine. This lullaby ain't gentle, it's just honest. The concrete sings the truth the rest can't find. Slow down, let the block catch up. It's been carrying us longer than we knew. The block don't forget a name, even when the name forgets the block. Even when the name forgets, we were always coming back. Before the hustle, before the price, before the name and anything outside this street, there was just this. There was just this. There was just this. There was. We were born here, kings of the concrete, before we even knew what a crown was. The block don't forget a name, even when the name forgot itself. Even when we ran, it held our place. The block don't forget a name. Still here, always was, always was. This is where it started. Tough concrete, cold wind, and a dream with no address. 3 a.m. 3 a.m. on Nostrand Ave. Nobody out but the lights. The bodega sign buzzing like it forgot to sleep. Upright bass under the overpass, walking slow and deep. Someone's window glowing amber, 3rd floor, 2nd Street. The city don't whisper, it hums at a frequency that only makes sense if you slept on its chest. The cracks in the sidewalk got more history than anything they taught us in the textbook test. And the night just holds it all. The block don't forget a name, even when the name forgets the block. Even when the name forgets, this corner still knows your face. Every